everybody, my name is Wayne. Today I'm going to talk about metaphysics in music. So I choose the song Hotel California. This is a very famous song which is written by the Eagles band in the last centuries during 1960s to 1970s. So today I will talk about these songs and discover how its lyrics and its atmosphere related to the metaphysics philosophy concept. So first, I will introduce the content of my TED speech. On part 1, I will introduce the background of the song. On part 2, I will talk about why it is metaphysics. In part 3, let's thinking behind the song and analyze how it deprived to be this called the lost generation. On part 4 is the conclusion. So now I want to introduce background. The Hotel California, which was regarded as one of the best music works which represents the lost generation in American history. The lost generation was the time between 1960s and 1970s, which happened during the after World War II. At that time, the youth in the U.S. seems lost their direction of life. They enjoy themselves, but lazy to think and produce. They were educated into drugs, girls, and wasting. Americans felt confused. Under this background, the Eagles band decided to write this song, pointed out the dangerous situation, and cheered up the unsatisfied and confused nations. Now, please enjoy the part of the song and feel what it wants to express behind its lyrics. Okay, now let's turn down the volume and I will discover more about the lyrics. So after hearing the part which without the lyrics, you can still feel the crazy about the audience and the fans because this was recorded in the past in the 1968, which is the Eagles band hold their live show in Los Angeles, which is in California. So this song was really amazing, not only because its music facilities and the music tricks like guitar, electronic, drums, but also the lyrics is very amazing. Okay, so part 2, why metaphysics? Metaphysics means unknown things and a kind of symbolism in philosophy. In Hotel California, the lyrics use a lot of symbolism to represent meaning behind the social society. We are going to explore what remains in this song. The lyrics analysis. On a darkest desert highway, cool wind and in my hair until the sight grew dim. Writer used the lyrics represent the dark and depressed atmosphere. Politics represents drugs, which means at the 1960s in the US, the youths were struggled in the intense. Head grew heavy means teenagers were not able to control themselves, rolling the deep. It is kind of metaphysics because you will not know who you were and where you will go. The second part of lyrics. This could be heaven or this could be hell. This part strongly reflects to metaphysics in philosophy area because heaven or hell, it cannot be predicted. Although the real one does not exist, you still do not know your destination and what you really want. Third part. Welcome to Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely face. Lovely place and face seems to represent the luxuries and shopping. It is kind of symbolism and metaphysics because you will not know what was really attracted to you. First part. Her man is Tiffany Twisted. She got the Mercedes-Benz. She got a lot of pretty boys that she calls friends. Hardly dance in the country yard. Sweet, summer, sweet. Luxurious life, luxurious car, but it hints that once you fall into this comfortable zone, you will never get out. The fifth part. Please bring me when, he said. We haven't had that spirit here since 1969. Spirit here means both one and people's mind. 1969 is a typical year that people has dropped into luxury life, but they would not know they will face terrible and difficulties in 1970s. Mirrors on the ceilings, the pink champagne on ice, and she said, we're all just prisoners here of our own device. Prisoners of our own device strongly reflects to metaphysics. The youth makes their own choice that they will not work hard but educated in drugs. It seems easy to change one's mind, but actually, it was impossible. They gathered for the feast. They stabbed it with really steel knives, but they just can't kill the beast. The youth who struggled in drugs want to stop their tragedy, but their mind has lost control. Metaphysics here are fist, knife, and beast. Last thing I remember, I was running for the door. I had to find a passage back to the place I was before. Writer and the singer wanted to recall his original spirit. But on the last part of the lyrics, which is the most tricky one, the most terrible and horrible one. Relax, said the nightman. We are programmed to receive. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. The key part of the whole lyrics, symbolism, imagery, and metaphor, are used vividly to and spread his struggle. You can never leave is the biggest metaphysics here. Why people cannot live just a hug? The horrible answer is that they were not themselves anymore. They were like a ghost who cannot go back to his normal life anymore. So at this point, the music has been played down, so we can enter our third part, part 3. The scenes behind the lyrics. Also, on the conclusion of part 2, I will say that this song has been divided into 3 parts, which is Find the Hotel California, Educated in Drugs, Struggled but Cannot Live Anymore. Part 3, Singing Behind the Song. It's kind of symbolism, and some people think that the song in the California hotel indeed there, but is that real? I think it's not, because On that time, mental hospital like detoxification and other hotels are also located during the 1960s to 1970s, because at that time, teenagers, they are released and they did not have much inspiration and motivation to do what they want. They really don't know what they want, because after World War II, America has suffered a really huge and really fast development in economies. So people are now richer than before, and able to buy things they want. But on their spirit, on their inside world, inside their body, they don't know what they really want. The hotel was in the past had a dark palm deal. The owner of the hotel called this is the Sun California Hotel. But the history of the town, the hotel's name is in the Sun, has been popular after the 80s Accord. In the late 90s, several newspapers began to publish the authentic California hotel story, and finally attracted the Sun writer, Don Helen, in the setting. Ever since beginning, it immediately attracted a lot of questioning and criticism. Although no one dared to boast that their understanding is positive solution version, but the lyrics in the obvious drug addiction, sexual disorder, pot and other hints all cause moral gods and dissatisfaction. In the United States, by the religious group of the boycott, they were really impressed by this. However, the California Hotel sound that classical guitar melody, strange inexpressible lyrics content, touching sad feelings, making the song California Hotel mysterious forever became favorite. So this picture shows how people against the war at that time, during the Vietnam War. And it also against drugs. So to deal with criminal, the best way is to defend its resources, which is drug. Okay, let's enter the part 4, conclusion. Hotel California has become a symbol in American rock history. Through this masterpiece level song, we not only learned about metaphysics, but also learned to take care of our life and remember to live a positive attitude forever. At last, I want to share a sentence with everyone, which is presented by Alan Watts, the famous philosopher. It said, "Man suffers only because he takes seriously what the gods made for fun." So remember this, be happy, and try to be yourself. Okay, that's the end. Thank you for watching. That's presented by Wayne.